Huffing it on the treadmill and I'm watching solos. You guys gotta check that out. Pretty good show. And then we're gonna get to the good fun. Putting in this backup camera. Good morning, everybody. I am working on the backup camera install for the dash and the navigation system. I already have the RCA cables run to the back of the nav and the new ID4 instrument cluster. My challenge now is I need to actually install this. This goes where your trunk latch goes, so it's seamless. You can't even see it. And the only problem I'm having is now I have to find switched power for this thing. There is power on the back of my nav for it. However, I'm an idiot and I didn't run the wire. And I don't know if I'll be able to get that wire fished down at this point, but I am going to run this anyway and see if I can at least get that part done up to the front, and I'll keep you guys posted. Now, I did test it, it works. I gave it power from the wall, but it goes right here, and I don't know how to install it. I'm guessing that I have to take apart this whole back, pull these little plugs out right here, and take this trunk piece off. Not 100% sure, but I am going to try to figure that out now. Well, let's do a little test. I'm interested if this light stays on when the trunk is closed. This probably isn't a good test, just because it probably turns off after you start the car after a little while, unfortunately. Alright, went back and watched the video. That light definitely turns off, unfortunately, when the trunk is closed. The battery's under here. Really wouldn't do me any good without some way to relay that on. Doubt this camera uses much power, but still, I don't want it to be on all the time. Or I could just run battery power. So my best option, easiest, is probably the cigarette lighter. To maybe put a little Y adapter on it and run a wire from that, or just actually open up the cigarette lighter in the center console and tap off the back of that. But first things first, I mean, man, why isn't there switched power back here? I heard some of the cars have like a accessory outlet in the back somewhere, which is very cool. This car probably doesn't, so I'm gonna get to work trying to get this camera installed first. Okay guys, I'm consciously trying to keep the camera a little bit more steady in this video because I noticed last time it was annoying. I did get my camera bundle wire done here. So what we've got is the camera output is an RCA cable. This is inside this loom. Also, the input for power is inside the loom, and then that runs to the cable that's going to go all the way to the front. On the other side of this cable here that goes to the front of the car, there's the power wire and also the RCA cable that plugs into the head unit and into the digital dash. You can see it right here. The other end looks like this. So this will get power. We'll go ahead and bite the bullet and get it off the navigation system like I was supposed to in the first place. There's a power wire with the video cable there, so it's switched power. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this wire run without disassembling the trunk, but if I can't, I'm going to take the trunk apart. Went ahead and got the first piece off here. Might be able to get the wire through there without taking apart the rest. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to try it. I can maybe fish it through, and then it needs to come down, go down this shock, just like the loom does over there, where I can zip tie it, leave some slack for it to raise up. So I'm gonna see if I can get in there right now. I turned the light on kind of see if you can get in there or not, but boy, would it be great if there was some power in there. That would be amazing. I'm gonna check it out. Well, the good news is I was able to fish the hanger through to here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull my wires through, and then hopefully I can get him down through this part without disassembling the whole trunk. Or I might just, Yeah, I can just come out right here. You'll barely see it, and then come down the shock tower here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now and get my wire fish through. So what I'm gonna do is tape it to the end of this with electrical tape, and then just pull everything right through. All right, got my wire taped on the end of this. Trying to be careful not to scratch my paint up at all, because this is a metal hanger. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this through. I'm gonna use 2 hands. I'll be right back. All right, I got my wire pulled all the way through. There's plenty of extra. This is the old trunk latch. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that, connect the new one, and make sure that the camera works now before I pull this cable all the way to the front of the car. So I'm gonna do that now. All right, so I got the wire kind of rigged up to the battery. Something goes on with the nav screen. I mean with the cluster where the picture rolls. I'm not quite sure what's causing that, but it stopped a little while ago. But it looks fine on my Android head unit. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I emailed the company about it, and I think that if you initialize the cluster with the camera plugged in, it doesn't do that, but I'm going to test it in a minute. So the wire does work. Now all we got to do is get that pulled to the front. I'm going to now route this wire down to the shock absorber here. Come down from there. I got to make sure I'm not in the way of the convertible top at all. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get that wire through. I still got to investigate all that. I want to run it down, you know, down through the trim right here and everything. So I'm going to work on that now. All right, so I'm going to run the wire. Actually ran it underneath the gray carpet insert here. I'm going to run it behind the shock here. Notice over here the loom, they leave like some extra slack for that to open. See how that goes? Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing right here and button this gray piece back on real quick. Okay, forgot to show you guys the camera installed. There it is. You can barely tell it's in there. And it's a switch also, so it opens the trunk. Got the plastic piece back installed right here. Now I'm going to work on zip tying this down the trunk shock absorber. And let's see how I'm going to get it into the cabin. There's an easy way right there, but this whole compartment comes off. But I'm hoping I can fish it in there somewhere. I just don't know where yet. All right, so literally learn something new about your car every day. I had no earthly idea that this came down and that this bag or something is in there. I don't know what that is. Something to do with a seat belt or something. It's so crazy. But I'm gonna see now if I can get through behind here, which I probably can. Like want to get it like down in between the seat right here, under the bolster, through there. So I'm gonna see right now what I can do with this. I've never seen this back here. It's so funny that I've had this car for the whole time and never noticed. All right, guys, a little update here. So I got the wire fished down here. I think I'm going to somehow tie it or maybe tuck it in right there again, because there's some stuff back here that moves and I don't want that wire getting caught right there. I fished it down through the floor there around the corner, and now I'm going to drill a hole right in the corner of that whatever the heck this thing is for luggage, and then go right through there. So I'm going to do that now. So there wasn't a way to drill a hole through there, so I went ahead and just popped a little hole in that canvas and run the wire through there, and then I'm going to seal it up later with silicone sealer just to make sure there's no air coming through. But I got the wire, you'll just see the tiny bit of it right there, but I can tuck that in really nice. And now this thing should just close like that. That's all you see back here, and it's barely noticeable. And then if we come in here, so the wire comes through the luggage compartment here. And it's kind of hard to see with this light. I am going to run it right down the corner of the seat, and down through here to get to the front of the car. I'm gonna work on that now, but I'm gonna put the top down first, make sure nothing is in the way. Got everything out of the trunk here. I'm gonna do a little experiment and put the camera in here and just make sure that, hopefully I can see right there. Make sure that nothing is in the way. Just remembered you can't lower the top without the partition, so can't see it from there. I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. Okay, I made a huge mistake back here, which almost ripped the wire right in half. So you have to understand the way the convertible top operates. These parts in here move. I had this tied to a spot that had to move, and when I opened the top, I noticed it was stretching the wire, and I thought it had broken the wire, but I tested it and the wire's still good. So I rerouted the wire to a different area back here underneath that goes up and around here, and then back to this back hinge section right here. So it's going to go, hopefully, zip tie underneath this support bar. This all moves. This whole entire support bar moves. So I'm going to give you an example. Now, it's given me issues opening the trunk when the car with the remote control, and I don't know why. I haven't figured that out. But so first of all, you need slack for when this opens and closes. So then after that, let's see. You need slack there. See how that opens? And there's wire coming down. But you also want to make sure it doesn't get caught on anything. So I'm going to close the trunk. I'm going to try to put the top down with the key fob, but it has not been letting me, and it sucks because I really want to watch it put the top down, but let's see if it'll let me put it up. Okay, so it did roll the windows up. Let's try down. It's got a red light on, so I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to go a little bit here. Let's see, turn the power on. Okay, it works there. Now what happens now is the back flips up. Watch. As soon as that flips up, I need to go back and look. That's what was pulling on the wire last time. So what we need to do is in here, make sure there's enough slack. Aha, see, this has to open all the way, and that wire has to be tied to the back of the of that support bar. So let's open it a little bit more. Let me go that way. It won't let me do anything, I guess because the key is not nearby. Let's try this. Let's put the key in the ignition. Okay, let me go that time. Okay, so now that this is open all the way, we need enough slack here to tie this to the bar while this is fully open. So let's see how much we got. Okay, so that's as far as it opens. All right, now we got to tie this off. I got to figure this out because I don't know if it's going to get pinched when the thing closes. Not 100% sure. I'm gonna look at that now and let you guys know. Okay, I think I got the issues in the trunk sorted out. It's kind of difficult because that whole thing moves. So it's really hard to get everything zip tied plus leave slack so that things can move, and at the same time keep the wire from coming out or getting kinked. Now this is what's in the back. I had no idea this was back here. So I pulled the seat down. I'm going to pull this wire through down under the seat here, hopefully down through this footwell and then up to here. And then I need to run power, which means unfortunately I got to take the screen out, or at least take the bezel off again, to get back behind there to get power from where the navigation system is. Okay, so I got the wire run underneath the carpet here. So if you just pull off this little footwell piece, I ran it all the way under here, and then I ran it under this piece here that has the trunk switch on it. I pulled off the little duct work down there at the bottom. And so now the wire is actually where it needs to be. It's fished through. Now I have to take out the nav and make sure that there's power back there, and if there is, I have to run that up through the dash, which is going to be not fun at all. So I'm going to work on that now. All right, I got the nav pulled out. I verified with my voltmeter that there is power on this wire, and I don't think it's on full time. I hope not, because that's going to run the battery down. I believe this is switched power. It says, let's see, it's plus 12, so I don't know, better be switched. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a wire run over here to the wire that I fished to power the camera now. Hopefully I don't have to take out the ID4 again, because it's a pain. Okay guys, so I pulled out the navigation system, I pulled out the digital dash, I ran the wire back behind the dash, I've got it here. This is the power wire for the camera. I'm going to go ahead and cut that right now and then crimp it to this. I need to order a barrel connector because that's all I got, and it's ghetto of course, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll update you guys after. Alright, I got the wire spliced in. I'm going to go ahead and start the car now. Actually just probably put it in on mode. See if the camera works. Hopefully. I'm gonna be kind of mad if it doesn't. Alright, well, looks like we got a backup camera both there and there. Now this one here is noticeably more, I know it's hard to see with the with this camera, but this one's noticeably more clear, but doesn't have the backup lines. I haven't used them yet, and I don't really remember how to set up the navigation system, and I don't know what these things do here. So check this out guys, got the backup camera installed finally, something I've been wanting to do for a while. I'll update you guys in a minute when I go for a drive. We are back, got everything buttoned up. I got the garage cleaned up. So this is the Avon navigation system. There's a million of them out there that are just the same. It is an Android unit. All I can say about these guys while we're talking about it is they never update them, so you can forget about getting a newer version of your operating system or whatever, unless you are good at customizing and installing you know, custom ROMs. You'll never get that. So that's my Android. This is my ID4 digital dash. This is my custom USB connector for my digital dash to upgrade it and to put new software on it. And let's see what happens now when we put it in reverse. Alright, so this is the first time I've ever seen the actual backup camera. Now notice here we got some issues here, because I noticed that every once in a while this one will not sync up, but it looks like it might have. Finally, it was rolling and then it stopped. This one's solid every single time. Now, it might be hard to see, but let's try to reverse. I've never done it. Look at this. Wow. Oh, pretty cool, man. First car I've ever had with a backup camera that wasn't a rental or a loaner. So check that out. You can even see my trash can, and I can drive on my backup camera. And here on the ID4, if you if you would like. So, pretty successful project. It was a lot of work. It took me about, let's see, 5 hours to put in the backup camera and wire it up to power. Luckily, this navigation system has the power for the backup camera ready to go. Otherwise, I would have been hosed and had to use another source of 12-volt power. Anyway, if you guys got any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. Check the 2011 car out with the modern technology here. I know it came with you could get an optional backup camera, but not like this, man. Oh, heck yeah. Now, so this is a problem. This thing rolls. Yeah, and then it locks up. So I'm going to talk to the ID4 guys about that, and I'll let you guys know what they say. Supercar Street Racing, have a great day, man.